Hi, my name is Matt, and I'm basically here to tell you that it definitely does get better. Speaking as someone who started out in a really small town in upstate New York, surrounded by nothing but dairy farms. My graduating class had maybe 150, 200 people. I certainly wasn't out, nor was there anybody at the time in the late 80s that I knew was out. Um, and There were a lot of times that I felt like, probably I was different enough that it wasn't fixable. And I had a really supportive mother who didn't know, but probably would have been just fine with it because she was when I finally did tell her. Um, I I had a very religious father who was not supportive and sort of dragged me kicking and screaming out of the closet. Um, but I survived that as well, in spite of the fact that he told me that if he'd had it to do over in terms of his parenting, he would have done it differently um, because he said he blamed himself. Um, in spite of all of that, um, I somehow knew that things were never quite as bad as I sometimes felt that they were. And certainly as I've gotten older, and just having turned 40, I realized that's definitely the case. There are so many things that I would have missed out on had I not survived my teens. I've traveled to, a multitude of different countries. I have had a multitude of jobs in several different fields, and I'm now a nurse for probably the largest HIV/AIDS clinic in the United States, living in one of the greatest cities in the world, and that's all after coming out of a town that's sort of a speck on a map, um, at a time when there weren't sitcoms, there wasn't Will and Grace, or anything else for that matter on TV. There were sort of a lot of really fey, stereotypical characters, um, and that was about it. Um, and again, like I said, in spite of all of that, I still persevered. I ended up moving to Los Angeles. I've lived in Los Angeles. I've lived in Toronto. I've lived in New York. Um, and I am really blessed that I have the life that I have. I have been with my partner for 13 years. Um, and this is after thinking for a long time that being gay, I wasn't going to find anyone, especially when I first came out of the closet. And I felt like, bars were the only place I was going to meet anybody. Um, that I wasn't going to meet anybody that really, that I would be able to spend any meaningful part of my life with, and that's not been the case. We have just a really fortunate life together, um, and while we all have our down days, and even if it seems extremely dark at this point for you, you don't feel like you have any support around you. You actually do. Whether you're in the largest city in the world or you're in a town of 500 people in the middle of nowhere, you have people out there who care. And even if it seems that your immediate family doesn't, there are always people that you can reach out to, and there is always a better option than deciding to call it quits. Um, you just need to reach out, and you need to realize that while it's really rough right now, uh, the possibilities that life holds for you in the near and distant future are amazing. You just have to hang on, and I, you know, I highly recommend that. There is no other option but to hang on, reach out, and realize that there are plenty of people like you everywhere, and that you're loved.